Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on second down. Winters. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. On third down, Winters. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The numbers last week for Mitchell. 18 carries, 56 yards.
It's been a strong season for him thus far, sitting currently 7th in the NFL in rushing. He gives their offense really good flexibility because if he's gashing a defense, they can ride him to an early
throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And some room to work. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. They'll roll him out right. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Off the play fake, Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Page. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 3 tight ends up front here, third and goal. Off play action. Jones toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they...
Touchdown! A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 3rd and 2. Winters. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And it's taken in at the 9. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And as we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spot, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Slayton. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Able to shake him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. You're the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he will have a Giants first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'll guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Jones on 1st and 10. Being chased out left. His throw incomplete. And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bucs force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. To throw on 3rd down. Winters. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips. On the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. Up the middle with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Giants have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. New York ready to go again offensively. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that... you face, and analytics will tell you, try and score when... given the opportunity.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got Slayton on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a play fake here on first down. Jones hit and the ball's out. But I believe the Giants got this back and they will hold on to the possession. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing on second and long. Jones. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll look to throw again. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. A final shot before break. Jones. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Giants would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. With a white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where you see the final score there. Brandon Ayuk, a game for the ages, 5 touchdown grabs. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Josh Jacobs, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with teams jockeying for position, one thing we do know already, they're all set. They've got the #1 seed in their back pocket with still 2 games to go.
And that gives you a chance to experiment a little bit as well. It doesn't mean that you just have wholesale changes, starters don't play. I'm not talking about strictly that. I'm talking about guys who maybe haven't played enough during the year, or you want to see them in different spots. You know, can that running back split out and catch the football a little bit as you head to the playoffs? Maybe you run a few plays to put them on tape and make your opponents watch them and say, oh, we got to prepare for that. A lot of ways they can go, knowing that they own the #1 spot.
They go play action here on first down. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Out to his left. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Off the play fake. Jones on the move to his left. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Back to throw. Jones. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Jones, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Throwing to start the drive, Jones.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yard.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 13 yards out.
And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. They find some open field here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 162, tying him with LaDainian Tomlinson for 3rd place all time. And the Giants get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
A familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing. Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And he's going to lose yardage here as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Giants ready to come out now. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 163. That moves him past LT and into third place all time. And the Giants continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Looking to throw on second down. Winters. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First catch there for Evans. Good enough for a first down. Operating from the gun, Winters. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kayvon Thibodeau in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Operating from the gun, Winters. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. And here's Ryan Wright now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. The New York set to take. The field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they get...
Now Barkley stripped of the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Following the fumble recovery, Winters. That's complete out right to the tight end, Trimble. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what... What's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Jones now throwing to start the drive. And the defense loses him. It's complete. 20, 10, 5, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Ready. 47. Check, 47. Oh, you got deep? 47's the mic.
To throw on second down. Winters. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
The extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Giants,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0.
And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Out of the gun now on third down.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Oh, what a move. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
He'll buy some time right. Wide open receiver complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
A handoff to Barkley. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Now Jones. Rolling to his right. And that is incomplete.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
Yeah, they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has helped them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. The numbers for Sanders last week, 17 carries, 96 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. 30, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Azeez Ojulari in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now back to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are in position. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Been a nightmare of a first quarter for him. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. as he starts again here, 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. Drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. 17-0 our score after 1.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down again. Azeez Ojulari. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward.
Touchdown, Giants! A big play there. 53 yards. And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down. Back to throw here.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, They need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Now we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player, and it appears to be Devontae Smith who's having some problems here. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. He finds his man complete. That's Stevenson. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. It's caught by Sanders. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Azeez Ojulari able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. They're going to look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Butker's kick here is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Giants with one final possession here in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Throwing, Jones. That's caught by Hollister. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start with one of the best rivalries in the NFL. Dallas on the road in our nation's capital. And it's the Cowboys on top as they play the second quarter. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. Next, we take a trip down the coast to Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. The Colts seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they trail in that one to the visiting Las Vegas Raiders. Michael Gallup a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Off play action. Jones sliding out of the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. 54 yards. Defender was right there in his shorts. Is that one of those situations as a DB where you just tip your cap and say, nice catch?
Well, you're supposed to, but a true competitor, he's not tipping his cap at all. He's upset he still didn't make the play. If it's a 50-50 ball or a moment of truth, he's got to win.
And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton with career touchdown number 125, moving him into a tie with Walter Payton on the all-time list.
And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, They've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Another run with Sanders. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense... to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Pressure comes and the Giants block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the very rare blocked punt scooped and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Heavy, got heavy. Hey, look, 48.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Darius Slayton with career touchdown number 126, the same number Jim Brown had during his 9-year career. And the Giants get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here.
I don't know, it's over with. So I figured them niggas was about to be gone anyway. Call them nigga bitch in practice. I'm like, hey. Then put it on the internet.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they
What you got going on?
pass rush moves, every position. Because any...
And hit behind the line, he lost the football. It's loose. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect.
Oh shit, what the heck, what's going on? Everybody done popped up on the pop-up. Everybody done popped up on the pop-up. Girl done ruin these headphones, man.
All the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
That was it. That's all it took. That's all she wrote.
Team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about.
You ain't going nowhere, son. That type of day you already knew.
After we saw that first turnover,
don't matter what I pick.
That things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And that is going to do it.
Oh shit, you at work?
For this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll set up to throw. A swing pass here to Edwards. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Gotta punish the young man. Hey, one more hit stick. Don't let me get that. Oh my god. Oh my god. He ain't had to do him like that, Aziz. I was coming to kill him anyway.
As well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Oh, get your hands off me, boy. Ooh. With the white man.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards.
What you got going on?
Darius Slayton and the rest of this offense about to begin their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now, they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way?
You got light on it? See all the weeds, or is that for the nicotine? Is that for the nicotine, or is that green? Well, you ain't smoking cigs? That's what, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, you trying to, oh, you just been working in the factory. You sick of cigarettes and that?
And trying to work out.
Oh yeah, true. Well, you know, cigarettes is different. I mean, these is, but the cigarettes is different. Alright, look a little bit slimmer. You got the beard on. No, you got the beard on. Oh, was you working out today? Oh, you said Sunday.
Yeah, I got the baby.
No. Shit. I with a mama yesterday, or it's Thursday night. Alright. I think Rashad at work.
Oh, you gotta work today?
They've been working every day. But yeah, usually he'll be saying something, but I think he on the clock right now. But I don't even get on the headset that much. Be too much going on.
You could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
He is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but
they didn't.
Good throw. He's going to loft on deep left side
get my boy.
Touchdown. Darius Slayton, 60 yards.
Man, I still ain't really getting back on line, nigga.
On that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Well, Charles, just impressive in all three phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing it again with another
score in the fourth quarter.
I did all this shit legitly. I ain't cheat, nobody. I ain't cheat on it or nothing.
But let's set it aside for a moment.
Yeah, start getting rid of niggas. I can afford.
Terrific effort. Really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
The Eagles send out their punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Darius Slayton and the rest of this offense about to begin their next drive. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral. Because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for the Giants.
Way too easy. Yeah, I gotta go back.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. One-handed grab of that length.
The team about to be gonna trash now. It was still good. The Giants just on here, isn't it? You went back? You on 24, ain't you? Or you up to that?
Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
It's a real Giants team.
Waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now the ball comes loose, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
15 the mic. I got 15. Let him know.
Now Jones, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you know, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
Pushes past him. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
88 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Off the play fake. Jones. That's complete right around the 8. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They'll set up a throw.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though. No surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go. With such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep downfield. A leap, and he's got it. He got it.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Giants,
they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
today. From Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
Well, the silver lining from last week, he played phenomenally. Kept the ball clean and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. And his first pass is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete on the deep ball. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year. 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. Now a throw caught by one of their linemen. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Off play action. Jones. Touchdown, Giants. second touchdown on the season. And the Giants will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with career touchdown number 128. He's now tied with Marvin Harrison for number 9 on the all-time list. And the Giants lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So already not the best to kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
Herbert has it knocked free. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. And now out come the Giants.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been
touchdown. Darius Slayton. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And here now come the Falcons.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Nothing our score after 1. Second and 4. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So a change of possession here on the punt. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Barkley inside handoff. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now Jones, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Here's Jones on 1st down. Running right through him. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure.
Touchdown, Giants! A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And it is 28-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Algier again on 2nd down. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They're good. They need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, it would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the 2nd quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After 1 quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we've got this. Oh, no, you don't. You got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit.
And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that drops the deficit from 28 to 25.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And he's going to be out of bounds across the 50. Great return.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Looking left sideline, it's complete.
And they will get the first down here as they move into field goal range as well, inside the 25.
Here's a give to Barkley.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 now. Jones.
Going right side, he finds Slayton. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in. Will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime.
And we get it, no time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick.
Take it in at the 3. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Back to throw. Jones buying time to his left. Got a man, Slayton.
And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down at the 25-yard line.
It's a big play for the Giants on third down. 43 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Giants. Offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Jones throwing on first down. Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Jones escaping the touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Time for another Falcon drive as we get a look at Kyle Pitts, the tight end. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season, so now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Let's go. Big series right here. You got to step it up. 4-7's a mic. 4-7's a mic. Man, let's get some penetration here.
Here's Herbert. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. He'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
47 Mike, 47. Exit.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 29-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Hey, tight down. There you go. 47 is the Mike. 47.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Partner, took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Got his man. It's London. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late point. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Algier. Touchdown, Falcons. It finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was Tyler Algier capping things off with a touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of... number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He'll buy some time right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the... And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 79 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year. Now Jones rolling to his right. That ball caught by Slayton. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton with his 3rd touchdown and 18th on the year. And the Giants look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he's secure. For 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Third and 2, Herbert. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. So that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Herbert on first down now. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kayvon Thibodeau picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
47 right, 47. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Here's Herbert. Flushed out under pressure. Down he goes again. Kayvon Thibodeau. Dropping him for the second straight play. Might want to think about blocking him here on 3rd down. So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. On the slant, he's got Davis. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards. Shy. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing Jones. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Giants are going to have it here at their own 15. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Looking to throw. Jones. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their head on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Herbert now. Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Come on now, let's go. Don't stop that.
Darius Slayton and the rest of this offense about to begin their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone. Now it's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Herbert. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, Herbert. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
One last throw here for Herbert. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have? I quit counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.
So for the Giants, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it will indeed be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 7-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.